By the time you're watching this video, TikTok has already been banned in the United States. Well, except it wasn't banned. They ended up avoiding getting banned entirely. This video was made before the ban was postponed to let a deal between Oracle, Walmart, and TikTok commence. I made and finished the original video before the whole thing happened. Apparently, Trump gave the okay for it to have a deal between Oracle and Walmart, which is weird because those companies have also been guilty of doing some pretty shitty stuff, but we'll talk about that later. For right now, realize that most of this video's content is from the perspective of TikTok was going to be banned, but then it wasn't. I'll make little interjections where it needs to be, but overall do understand that this video was made a while ago before TikTok was saved. And for some, it's a great loss because, it's a social media app where you can share small videos of yourself doing wacky stuff and shit, or, lip syncing to music. To some, it's kind of a bad thing that it's going away, but to others, it's a necessary need for the people and their safety. And if you think that, you're an idiot. Note, you're still an idiot if you think that. Now, I want to talk about the Chinese government for a bit because it's a big factor in why TikTok has been banned. I also want to make it clear that I'm not defending the Chinese government when I say the TikTok ban is stupid. Because the Chinese government is very, very bad. Have you seen the shit that's been going down in Hong Kong and the stuff they've done to Muslims? The government in China is very much bad and evil, similar to how evil most governments are, but, that's besides the point. And the claims about China suppressing free speech is 100% true. But with all of that said, I'm going to explain why the ban is stupid. Oh, if you're curious as to why I'm, making a version of this video where I put little edits in to explain why I am now wrong due to current events, I spent a lot of time making this video, and this video was going to be Tuesday's video, and Monday's video was going to be released early, I think on a Sunday or Saturday or Sunday. So I just want to salvage this video, and besides, this makes it more interesting because now I can look at my now dated video and analyze it. I hope this doesn't end up being dated again later. I hope that they'll go like, okay, we're actually going to ban it now, because ugh. According to Donald Trump, the person that's, mostly for banning TikTok, he wants to ban it because of spying, possible spying. Like we explained earlier, China is in fact a corrupt government, so it wouldn't make sense if they wanted to spy on Americans. Well, not too much sense. I don't know why they would want to spy on specifically Americans, but it might make kind of sense. But it stops making sense when you consider the following. TikTok's user base. I sincerely doubt China is going to need to spy on a bunch of white kids dancing. What would be the point of that? Oh, look at the Americans. They're doing the nay-nay. They're doing the whips. We fucking got 'em, boys. We fucking got 'em, boys. Unlike something like Facebook, where there's obviously talks about family, private messages between family about serious stuff, I doubt you're going to get much leverage from spying on TikTok of all things. On something like Facebook, you can find out where someone lives, possibly where someone works at, or where they go to school to. On TikTok, you're going to see a bunch of dumb kids dancing. On something like Facebook, you could get stuff like credit card numbers because they have stuff you could buy on there with your credit card, mostly game stuff, but still. With something like TikTok, you can't really get stuff like that. Look, if TikTok is China's way of spying on people, or they would want to use an app like that to spy on people, it's kind of a dumb idea, and would probably, if they even tried to spy on people, ultimately be harmless because it's an app used for dancing and making funny memes. Oh, also, meanwhile, Walmart has the ability to spy on you and really wants to spy on you and is getting away with it. Now, I know that the word surveillance may make it look a bit justified, but it doesn't. And Walmart's patent has already made it very clear this is not for security reasons. This is for, oh, let's see what customers want to buy. We'll use that data to, advertise certain things to them more, which is extremely shitty to invade someone's privacy like that, just so you can make an extra buck. But I guess it's fine since they aren't China. If TikTok wanted to spy on the American people, wouldn't they use something like Facebook? Like a social media platform like Facebook, because that would be easier to do and make more sense because people are more likely to share sensitive information on there. Sure, not publicly, more in the DMs and private messages, but that would be more likely than them getting anything off TikTok. Now, a fear that seems a bit more reasonable is the fact that TikTok can supposedly take your data. Now, that's somewhat more of a reasonable fear. I can understand that. Them knowing your personal data would be a problem. And you know what? I would say it's a valid concern from the government, but it's not. Because your data has never been safe. Sites like Google take your personal data and your data in general, yet we've never had a moment where the government has to ban Google because, well, I'll explain later, but I'm just going to explain the fear about TikTok taking away data is dumb. I have a big question for you. What is so important about your personal data that China just has to have it? What's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to possibly sell it off to companies so they can advertise you more specifically, and that's it. That does sound pretty shitty, but it's not exclusive to TikTok. And like we mentioned earlier, if anyone wants your personal data, it would probably be Walmart. They definitely want to spy on you, and they definitely do not give a shit about your privacy. It's almost every major website collects your data and sells it off, most notably Google. How come it's a big threat when a Chinese company is trying to take our data and sell it, but when Google has been doing it for years and years and other American sites have as well, that's not a problem. Now, apparently, as part of the deal, Oracle isn't gonna take any algorithm data. Bullshit. I fucking doubt it. Why is Walmart a part of this deal? What the fuck does Walmart want with the TikTok app? Sure, Walmart could put ads on it, or vice versa, they could want to collect data from it. And apparently all the articles say they won't. But really, their statement was, we don't have any plans to. The current plan does not involve the transfer of any algorithm and technologies. So, there could be a plan in the future to do it. Probably when you're not looking or paying attention or even thinking about it. Probably when, everyone's done talking about it, they're probably going to implement it in. I wouldn't be fucking surprised. So, yeah, there goes your data that, Trump really wanted to protect. Look, I can understand if you find the fact that your data is being taken away is a problem. That's assault on your own privacy. But again, if you have that problem with TikTok in China, you should have that problem with places like Google in America. Hello everyone! Before we continue the video, have you considered donating to my Patreon? Did I tell you they have exclusive rewards that you can't get anywhere else from me? Including early videos that I put out early, and also stuff like custom videos or calls. The cheapest tier is $3 and the most expensive tier is only $25. And if you want to support me and support my YouTube, this is the best way to do it. Now, probably the most real and sensible fear is that the fear that TikTok could use its platform to censor people. Well, or censor people on its platform. Now, we've already discussed how China isn't very pro-freedom of speech, so this sounds like a valid concern. In fact, it kind of is. Earlier this year, TikTok was exposed for supposedly suppressing Black Lives Matter posts, but later on, they said it was some kind of glitch, which, let's say it's bullshit. It's 100% bullshit that it was a glitch. It wasn't a glitch. They lied. Let's say that happened. Oh, if you're worried about censorship, I would like to mind that Trump is big friends with the big heads at Oracle. Trump does have connections to the co-founder, so if Trump ever wanted to go like, hey, could you stop all the anti-Trump TikToks on TikTok? It could be done. Hell, I could say it's very possible that Trump would want the censorship on TikTok of anti-Trump things as payment for letting the deal between Oracle, Walmart, and TikTok happen in the first place. Why did they then stop censoring Black Lives Matter posts? Why did they do that if they have enough power and, ability to fuck you over, like the government in America has been saying? If this was their grand attempt to try to censor the speech of other people, they failed because they got caught very easily. Now, I did find info that TikTok did go out of their way to censor stuff. It's something they have done. They might have not done it with Black Lives Matter situation, but it's definitely done with, just read the goddamn thing. But guess who else is guilty of this? Google! In fact, these same people claim that Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube are censoring them all the time, and yet there's been no talks of banning those social media platforms. Sure, most of the time they want them to just stop and be prevented from censorship, but yet again, still no talks about banning, and they're still collecting your personal data, and they still have the possibility, just like TikTok, to spy on you. This ban would make total sense if every other social media platform was clean, squeaky clean, and didn't do some horrible shit that TikTok is accused of as well. When it comes to Facebook and other websites like it, politicians find it very useful to promote their stuff there because they're going to reach an audience of very likely adults. But when it comes to something like TikTok, that's not the case. TikTok is mostly used by kids who are dancing around and stuff. They're not going to be able to use that. They're not going to be able to use that platform for their leverage. However, banning TikTok does make it look like the government does care about your privacy and safety, despite that very same government wanting to put cameras everywhere. Now, since TikTok wasn't banned, this comment comes off as a bit wrong, but I still could argue that if the buying deal didn't happen, this would still remain true. But Trump and other politicians could still use the fact that TikTok is now being bought by Oracle and Walmart to their leverage. Hey, we saved you all from TikTok's reign, and we gave the heads up for an American company to take over. They won't screw you over. America good, other countries bad. Which is pretty much shitty. Now, like I said earlier in the video, China is a shitty country. But here's the thing. If Trump truly gave a shit about your privacy, then wouldn't he be worried about Walmart using surveillance equipment to boost their sales at the cost of the privacy of the customers? Sure, Walmart is a public place, but you don't have a whisper, talk softly in a conversation in the middle of Walmart and expect someone to overhear you or try to butt in. That would be considered rude and kind of shitty. Yet for the most part, Walmart has not been called out for doing this and hasn't been punished at all for doing this. Not by the government like TikTok for supposedly maybe doing it. Sure, the government and people like Trump have said that Twitter and Facebook are censoring the public and have said things like, oh yeah, we're definitely gonna put a stop to that. But in the case of TikTok, this is the only time they've actually done something about it. And by the looks of things, it's the only one that's actually going to get punished for things other companies have been doing. Originally, I thought my very own conclusion would have been racism, but it's obvious this is just a publicity stunt. With Corona killing so many people amongst a bunch of other bad things the government is doing, they really need a good publicity stunt right now. And I think something like TikTok would make it look like they care for the American public just a bit more. But they don't. It's obvious they fucking don't. Have you seen how stingy they are about giving people money that they need to live during this pandemic? The government doesn't give a shit about its own people or their privacy and safety. If they did, this pandemic wouldn't have gotten as bad as it did. And I'm not saying none of this has to do with China. China is very much being used as a scapegoat for what's going on. Oh, you think we're a bad government? Well, here's what the China will possibly do with TikTok. Basically, they want you to focus on another government being shitty instead of your own government that is being shitty. China and TikTok being banned are a distraction, getting rid of the site that isn't useful to them and that is very disposable, so they can look better and so people can be distracted from what's going on in this very country. And it's working! Hurricane Sally has just devastated the South. I've seen some of the damage myself and it's kind of horrifying, but I haven't seen the government talk about it. Instead, I'm seeing them talk about fucking TikTok. Instead of doing something about the current situation down here with that, they're talking about fucking TikTok. Instead of actually doing their fucking jobs and doing something and spending money to help people, they're doing this. By the way, there are still tons of people that are without power down here in Florida. Just thought I would let you know that. You know, oh, but the electric companies are supposed to solve that. Well, if you want to help the American public, you know, the people without power, and power is very fucking important for, like, stuff like internet and stuff, lights, warmth, and all that stuff. You know, you think you'd get on that, you know, help, get some funding down there, get some government help down there, but I guess not. I guess it's not important that these people go without power for a while. The TikTok ban is more of a TikTok scam. And yes, I still think it's a publicity stunt. But this whole new deal could give Trump some advantages. Like I mentioned before, they're good friends with the people at Oracle. And there could be some deep censorship that could be made by Oracle. I mean, they have the motive. They want to see Trump get reelected. They funded his re-election campaign. So, great job. TikTok is now not in the hands of the corrupt Chinese government. It is now possibly in the hands of the corrupt American government. Great job, jackasses. Young adults do use TikTok a lot. And if people wanted to get to, you know, get people like young adults to vote, they would use TikTok. And they could be stopped by Trump if Trump wanted the Oracle to do that. This may sound like a conspiracy, but Trump trying to, you know, stomping down criticism has been done before. Labeling Antifa as a terrorist group, trying to make Black Lives Matter look like a terrorist group, even though they're not. 93% of Black Lives Matter protests are peaceful, yet he's still trying to make them out as a bad guy, as evil, as a terrorist group wrecking up stuff. It's obvious what's going on. And if you think Trump is above censorship on a platform like TikTok, you're an idiot. So, congratulations. Trump now has leverage over a social media platform. A fascist, may I remind you, has leverage over a social media platform. Hello everyone. If you liked my video, please like and subscribe. Also, comment down below if you have any opinions on it, whether they be positive or negative. I really want to hear what you think. Please check out my social medias down below, and also check out my Discord, where you can talk to me and other people that like my content. If you want to know who did the art for my OCs in my videos and in the title card, please check that down below. And also, don't forget to love yourself.